Hello students, we are going to look at rule number 4. So this rule is based on negative powers. Okay, so the rule a to the power negative m, this gives us 1 over a to the power positive m. Okay, so it means if we've got a negative power, the negative power changes to become positive, and then instead of appearing at the top, it now appears at the bottom. So another way of explaining this is that any monomial that consists of a negative power is equivalent to the reciprocal of that monomial. Reciprocal, whenever we see the word reciprocal, it means 1 over something. So it becomes the reciprocal of that monomial, but now with a positive power. So the sign of the power changes from negative to positive. So I can give you some simple examples on that one. So for example, if I say 2 to the power negative 3, now this means 1 over 2 to the power 3, which is equivalent to 1 over 2 times 2 gives us 8. Okay, I'll give you another example. 3 over 5 to the power negative 1. So this is the same as saying 1 over 3 over 5 to the power 1. Now this looks like something that is very complicated, but it's very easy. If you know how to divide fractions, this is similar to saying 1 divided by 3 over 5. So whenever we divide fractions, we change the division to multiplication, and then these two numbers, they swap positions. So the 5 goes on top and the 3 goes at the bottom. So this becomes, obviously 1 times anything is that thing. So that becomes 5 over 3. So this is the longer way of doing it. But I'll give you a simple rule here. So if we have got, for example, 1 over a over b, this is just the same as saying b over a. Very important for you to know this. So you don't need to go all the way down the long way. So 1 over 3 over 5, you can simply jump to the bottom here so that it becomes 5 over 3 without going through all these steps. But it's necessary for you to know that it is through these steps that we get to our answer there. So let's look at another example. Example 3, minus 2 to the power minus 5. So this is the same. Remember, whenever you have got a negative power in your mind, you must train your mind to think in terms of 1 over something. So because you've got a negative power here, in no uncertain terms, we have to start with 1 over. So we've got minus 2 here, and what happens to the power? The power changes from negative to positive 5. Okay, so now there's something that I want to explain to you here. If we have got a negative number and the power is an odd number, you know, odd numbers are like 3, 5, 7, 9. The final answer that you get out of this is will have a negative sign. But if the number here is even, the final answer will have a positive sign. So 1 over minus 2 to the power 5 is just the same as saying minus 1 over 2 to the power 5. Whenever we write a fraction, it's an international standard that the minus has to be on top if it was at the bottom. So 2 to the power 5, if you want to put it, that becomes 1 over, so that's 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16 times 2, we get 32. Okay. So minus 1 over 32 becomes our answer in this case. Someone might write it as 1 over minus 32. Still all right, but it's much wiser to write it as minus 1 over 32. So this is my example 4. Just look for a nice example here. Okay. So let's say we have 4 over 5 to the power minus 2. So again, our principle is the same. Whenever there's a negative, start with 1 over. So this becomes 1 over 4 over 5. Now what happens with the power? The power changes from negative to positive 2. So this becomes 1 over 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25. And according to this rule, 1 over something, or 1 over A over B becomes B over A. So similarly here, 1 over 16 over 25 becomes 25 over 16 straight away. Get our answer. Okay. So this is our rule number 4. Now the last rule is a very simple rule, and which is our rule number 5. So the name of rule number 5 is the rule where we have got a 0 power. So rule number 5 is a 0 power or 0 index. Can just underline here. So anything raised to the power 0, the answer we get is 1. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's X, whether it's a number, whether the number is a million or a billion, raised to the power 0, anything raised to the power 0, the answer that you get is 1. So I'm first going to write the rule here in words. I'm going to say here anything raised to the power 0 the result is 1. So anything or any number raised to the power 0, the result is 1. So I'm going to present it in this manner so that anything or any number, let's represent it with x raised to the power 0 gives us 1. Just going to put it in a box. So you need to watch out on this because sometimes it comes hidden in a complicated sum. So you always need to remember that whenever you see a 0 as a power on any number, the result is 1. Just going to look at a couple of examples. So examples might vary. So if I write, for example, minus 10 to the power 0, because it's a power of 0, it doesn't matter whether it's a negative or a positive, the answer you get is 1. Even if it is a fraction, For as long as it's raised to the power 0, the answer you get is 1. So this is my example number 1. If I say 4 over 5, for example, for as long as there's a 0, the answer is 1. Doesn't matter how complicated it is. But now watch out on this. If I say 2, then I say brackets, then I say x to the power 4, and I put a 0 here. Now you need to bear in mind that the 0 is affecting what is inside the brackets only. This 0 does not affect 2 in any way. So this is the same as saying 2 times. Now x to the power 4 to the power 0. Because this whole thing has been raised to the power 0, this whole thing just 1. Okay, so this the answer is 2. So you need to watch out on things like these ones. Number 4, if I say x to the power 3 over 2x to the power 0. Okay, so common sense will tell you that 0 is only affecting the 2x. It doesn't affect the x cubed. So your answer here is just same as saying x cubed over 1, which becomes x cubed. All right. So don't get carried away to think whenever you see a 0, everything just then becomes 1. We also have to apply your mind, see what the power 0 is affecting, because in some cases, it might not necessarily affect everything that you see. It might just affect a portion. So then we get an answer like the one in question 3, which is 2, because the 0 is only affecting a portion of the question. Okay, so these are the 5 rules of indices that we have. The exercise that I'm going to give you is based on these 5 rules of indices. So we need to always refer back to the rules if we are not very sure. Make sure you master the rules. You need to know them. You need to be able to write the rules anyway, even without checking. So you are expected to know your formulas very well. You're expected to know your rules, and you should be able to know where and how to apply them. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.